All right. Good morning, RLT traders. Good morning, everyone out there in YouTube land. Hope everyone had an amazing weekend. Wow. I just saw somebody said, what happened to Nvidia? Good question. Talk about just rolling over. Okay, we got to check. We will be checking that out. But anyway, hope everyone had a great weekend. Interesting Friday that we had here. But so far today, up until just a second ago, everything was pretty quiet. It looks like I'm looking at you all can see the S&P here and the Qs. Everything is kind of dropping quickly right now. Must be some news out there with the markets. Not sure if there was some type of a report come out, but I'm seeing across my screens, Nvidia, AMD. So maybe it's a tech chip thing. Okay, so Frank is saying Nvidia quarterly results. So let's go. But it's interesting that the markets are dropping like that. I mean, it's one thing for Nvidia to drop on its own news, but for the markets to drop that way. But anyway, again, hope everyone had a great weekend, and I hope everyone enjoyed the free week that we had last week. And I'm seeing some new names here in the chat, so hopefully we have some new members that have joined this amazing community that we have here at Real Life Trading. Let's just take a look at the markets, just for the futures right now, because obviously we don't have anything posting or printing right now on SPY or Qs, but we can just look here quickly at the S&P, which is here, and the NASDAQ down here. So we are gapping up a little bit here, even though we've just pulled back quite a bit. We do have a slight gap up here in terms of the S&P. Right now on the Qs, we're trading inside of Friday's range. So again, even though we just had that drop, we are still pretty much holding about where we are. So we're going to take a look at the individual stocks here in a second. But in terms of the SPY and the Qs here, so we have a lot of support here on the SPY. So this choppy blue line right here, that's the weekly 100. This smoother blue line, that's the daily 100. Okay, so we do have some support in here. We'll have to see where we open. We also have, this is the 10 EMA on the daily and the 20 EMA on the daily. So we do have support levels there in the way of the moving averages for SPY. Same thing with the Qs down here. If I zoom in a little bit, we have, this is this line right here, the smooth one. Again, that's the daily 100. We have the daily 10 crossing over that. So we definitely have some support down in here. Yeah, Jason, we're going to go take a look at Nvidia and all that in a second here. But Enrico, if you're listening, I don't know if you just saw Dan's post, but he's saying refresh your dashboard and see if it's been corrected. So we do have some support here underneath. So if we do trade a little bit lower, look for the support in these levels here. But we are right now, again, with the NASDAQ, we are an inside day. And again, we're gapping up a little bit on the SPY. So let's take a look at our individual tickers here. Let me change up my share. And we will start with Nvidia. Let's take a look at this. All right, so Nvidia. So it's interesting because earnings aren't until out here, but I guess they must have released. So they're probably preempting, I guess. So here's all the news down here. You can read that on your own. I won't go through it all here, but clearly they've made some announcement in terms of, let's see, after Q2 revenue margin warning. So, all right, so we've got quite a nice this will end up being, if this holds, which I don't have any reason to think that it won't hold, this will be a nice bearish gap and go, right? So we have, let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay, so we have Friday, we had a bullish candle, right? So if we gap below that, that will be a bearish gap and go. So expect, it should, I shouldn't say expect, because in this market, even the bearish gap and goes I've been trading don't trade like bearish gap and goes. But you would expect quick movement, quick drops. But then again, lately I've seen, a bearish gap and go that just gets bought up. So, but this is a huge drop here, just in pre-market. If I zoom in here, so let's take a look at some of these levels here that we have to keep an eye on. Okay, so we're clearly dropping below. So Friday's range is, here's the high right here, the low, we have those green lines. Here's the daily 10, here's the daily 20, daily 50. Those lines carry over to here. So you can see right now we're trading in between the daily 10 and the daily 50. And here is that the 20 right here. So keep an eye on those levels. I mean, again, this could easily just get bought up, right? But then again, it also can go the other way. We won't know. We're gonna have to wait, be patient, and see. But just be aware of these levels. And then if we get below this 50, then of course we have this pivot here on the daily, right? So somewhere in this, just drop a line in here so we have it on my charts. Somewhere here, right? The 165 area. So another level that we would be keeping an eye on. All right, Dan, thanks for continuing to work on that. All right, so there's Nvidia. We know what's going on. We know the news, and of course it's dragging AMD down with it. So let's just go to AMD since we're talking same sector. And again, we will be looking at a bearish gap and go if this price action holds. So we are currently underneath. If I zoom in here, we are currently underneath Friday's low, which is this green line here. So again, all these lines on my daily carry over to my intraday charts. This is a 5-minute. I will be switching that to a 3-minute as we get closer to the market when the market opens. But right now we are trading underneath Friday's low. So this would be a bearish gap and go. Now we do have, I mean, look at all of this. There's just tons of support underneath here. So this line right here, okay, let me just double check this line, make sure I've got the right 98.83. And again, these will change, these levels will change when the market opens, right? So currently right now so we're on a daily chart. Now this is my higher time frame moving average here. That now is the weekly 100. Okay, so weekly 100, this one down here, which is the same color, but it's not, as you see, it's not as thick a line as here. That's the daily 100 down here. But weekly 100, and we came down here and bounced off it with this, bullish hammer candle. Again, this is all pre-market. We'll have to wait and see how things shake out. But under there, we have lots of levels of support in terms of the moving averages. So here's our this is the 10 on the daily, sitting there right around right now about 96.17. Here's again the daily 100 here, the daily 10, and then we have the 59. So there's a lot of levels of support underneath here. So I would not be surprised if AMD, if this was an initial drop, just because Nvidia was dragging it down, but I wouldn't be surprised if this gets recovered and this weekly 100 holds right here. So, but as of right now, we're talking about the 10 EMA strategy that we use right now. Both Nvidia and AMD, if these levels hold right now, will of course be in play immediately. Let's just go now to Tesla. So interesting. I mean, big bearish candle on Tesla on Friday. Get rid of this line. Got a trend line in here. Okay, So big bearish candle on Tesla on Friday. I know early we tried to go short here early at the very open, right? Soon after market open, got stopped out, and then then of course then it chose to drop. But I'm sure lots of people got in here. I mean, here's the, if you look, we zoom in here, right? In terms of the 10 EMA strike. Now I don't have the 3-minute over here, but if this were a 3-minute chart, of course, like somewhere up here there would have been this bullish candle underneath the 10 EMA, but that was a beautiful drop right there if anybody caught that. But all the more reason why I'm going to be patient this morning. It's a Monday. Aside from Nvidia and AMD, right now everything that we're going to be taking a look at is going to be inside the price action right now is inside Friday's range. Looks like the exception of that might be Apple, but Apple is not technically on our 10 EMA list any longer. But anyway, for Tesla, okay, big bullish day Friday. Let's look at the pre-market here. Okay, so I've got my pre-market low. So these orange lines represent the pre-market low and the high. So this is post-market, pre-market. So there's our lines that we have for Tesla in terms of the pre-market, which is the orange lines here. We have the 10 EMA right here on the daily. Here's Friday's low, Friday's high. And of course, we're like right in the middle of the range. We also have this, here's the weekly 50 here. And let me just make sure, I think I have to adjust my line here. 882.34. All right, 882.54. So we do have this weekly 50 right here, and that's where price action right now is currently trading around. So yeah, I'm gonna be patient on Tesla, because we are right in the middle of Friday's action. No clear direction right now which way it's going to go. Madar says, do you think it will run in that news? You talk about the news from today? Instead of Friday's news. I mean, it could, right? I mean, it's the Tesla split. You have to see. I mean, right now, I mean, you would think pre-market, right? If that news from Friday or today was going to be a major catalyst, you would think it would be more of a reaction pre-market, right? So I'm not putting too much emphasis on that, because it's really nothing here. This is not, Tesla obviously can make huge moves, and it's really just hanging out right in the middle of Friday's trading range. So let's go on. Let's take a look at Amazon. All right. So Amazon, again, we're just trading inside of Friday's range. So we zoom in a little bit in here. So I've got the high and the low of Friday indicated by these green lines here, and we're just trading right within the range here. Now it's possible. So right now, if we look at let me get rid of this line. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, so I have the high and the low from the pre-market. Let me move this up now, because that's actually changed. So pre-market high and the low. Right now we are, if you look at this candle, price right now is right around 141.93. So we would be gapping above the close from Friday. Now that will put Amazon in play right away. If this price action holds per the 10 EMA rules, if it gaps above the close, even though it's not gapping above the candle, right? It's just gapping above the close, it will be in play. So in terms of overhead resistance, let me get a little bit more data on here. I dropped in this red line here. Okay, so if you look at this red line, so right now I just went out a little bit farther in terms of I'm looking at the, this is 3-year. Okay, so that's a daily chart, but 3 years worth of data. If you look here, the reason I have this red line drawn is this area here, and there were definitely some candles through here that interacted with that line. So in terms of just from a daily overhead resistance, I would be watching that red line. Okay, now, and if you notice here, this was what, Thursday, I guess. Thursday price got right up near that level and then retraced. Okay, so just be aware if you do get into a long, that might be an area where you want to take some off, take a partial, depending on what your setup is, and if let's say your target is up above this line, you might want to keep an eye on this. That's basically 144. Keep an eye on that level and take off a partial at that level. Let's say if your ultimate target is above there, just be aware of that. But in terms of other overhead resistance, this line right here is the 200, and that's on the daily. So we have the 200 on the daily overhead right here, that purple line. Above that, way up in here, we do have, that is the weekly 50 above that here. Okay, and then so just be aware of those levels. So we're talking like 144, 146 approximately, and then up here at like 149.5. So just be aware of those levels if you go long on Amazon. Excuse me, I'm gonna get a drink of water here. Let's go to Delta. Hey, real quick, I'm curious because before Steven says, is there any reason I'm not getting pre-market on my trading view screen? I don't see the option. So, hey, Steven, the question is, which plan do you have with trading view? Because you actually do have to pay for pre-market. Do you have the premium package? Yeah, you have it, huh? Maybe Dan might have some thoughts on that. I don't know. I do all my charting through Thinkorswim. Yeah, try restarting it, see if that does it. Refresh. But real quick, I'm curious because this is the first Monday after our free week. So I'm curious, could everyone who, let's say if there's anyone who just joined us after that free week, throw one in the chat pane. So Enrico, Varus, hopefully wait a minute. Brian Reppel, is that the Reppel effect? Brian Reppel, the Reppel effect. Tim, Flo, Phil, David, Patrick, cool. Yeah, so Brian, I didn't know that you weren't already a member. That's awesome. Cool. I was fortunate enough to meet Brian on in the Croatia cruise. Terrific guy. Lives down in Florida. Amazing person. Let's see. Do you have a pre-post? Oh, Tony's trying to help somebody with something. All right, cool. Well, all of you who are new to real life trading, welcome. Glad that you enjoyed that free week, and we are happy to have you here with us. It's a great community. So again, I wasn't on last week. My name is Stephen King, if any of you haven't caught that. I was supposed to have been on first thing on Friday, but I had Dan was kind enough to cover for me because I had to take my son to the airport. So anyway, so I was not with you at all last week on the mic, but I was with you in spirit because I was trading with you. But anyway, so back to the charts for the 10 EMA. So we're looking at Delta now. So Delta, again, not really, giving us just real clear indecision candle from Friday. We have, here is this is the, on the daily, this is the 50 here, which is carried over to this line. You can see came down here pre-market right into, so here's the pre-market low, but it came right down into that 50 and then got bought up. So we are currently now trading within the range of the full range of Friday's candle. Again, if this price level holds, let's see what the close was here on Friday, was 32.94. So way down here. So if this price level holds per the 10 EMA rules, we will be in play right off the bat. But again, I'm not going to take anything immediately. I'm going to just be patient because I want to see what the market's doing, especially the Qs, because it looks like we're going to have an inside day. And just in my experience, inside days typically translate to chop. And this market in general has been choppy. So I'm going to be patient initially off the bat. I'm not going to take anything, probably certainly not within the first 15 minutes. I'm going to let things play out unless I see something that just is an amazing setup that I can't resist. But my plan is to be patient initially off market open. So in terms of back to Delta, so looking over here, high, low from Friday. Again, we are gapping up above the close, so that will be in play. Delta has some room to run, right? So in terms of the moving averages, the next closest one is way up here, 36.30. We do have this gap over here to fill, right? So I am going to just drop a couple lines on here just to represent that gap. So we do have that gap here to fill. So there is some room for Delta to run if it starts to go bullish. So Johnny Guarco is offering help. So let him know, Crystal, if you need some help there. So back to Delta. So again, we do have some area to run. First level of resistance, of course, is going to be the top of this candle here, right? So we're going to have some potential overhead resistance here, the top of this pivot or this candle right here. So just be aware of these lines. We're talking like 33.60 here, 34, and then 35 up there. Now, I'm going to take a look at Apple. I know Apple is no longer on our 10 EMA list, but I still follow it. It's still one of the ones that I track. So Apple right now, we are trading above Fridays. We're currently above the high of Friday. So that would be a bullish retest gap. So for all of you who are new to real life trading and or just new in general, so if you have a bullish candle and then it gaps up, we refer to that as a bullish retest gap, because it's you'll get people who were buying here on Friday, it gaps up, they're instantly profitable. There's going to be a lot of, not a lot, but there's going to be profit takers, certainly people who are instantly profitable, who will want to lock in their gains. Therefore, they're going to sell shares. That selling creates that retest. Just means that price just comes back a little bit, and then then you look for it to go back up. So if it gaps above here, and it looks right now like it will, that would be a bullish retest gap. So you would expect it to initially come down and then look to then go up. You want to just keep an eye on this level here, which was the high of this candle, right? So there's bound to be a little bit of overhead resistance here. So if you do get into a long on Apple, just be aware of that level. Also, pre-market high, I need to adjust. Okay, so pre-market high right there for today. Again, another level, if you get into a trade, let's say down If you were to get in somewhere down in here, you want to be aware of that pre-market high level. That might be a level where you want to take some off. You just want to be aware of all these levels because they're all important. Let's see. Any other tickers? I'm just curious. I was going through my own scanner, just looking for a couple things. Looks like Roku. Flows out. Hi, Stephen. Did you test the Indie pre-market hello for box trading day? I did not. No. NCL. Andrew's asking. Andre. NCL. Yeah, I noticed that NCL, Nuveen Insured. Is that the right ticker? NCL? I'll wait for a response. I don't have anything coming up. NCL, sorry, NNCL. NNCL. You mean CCL? And CLH. Okay. Yeah, I did notice. I think Carnival was moving early. What was Carnival doing? Was it gapping? I know it popped up on my screen earlier. Let's see. NCLH. So we have this level here. I'll do this quick because I'm going to have to wrap up. I'm going to have to say goodbye to YouTube land here in a second. But anyway, you do have, it is gapping above. It looks like it opened right at, looks like right at the high from Friday, right? So it's right on that. Look for potential retest down into here and then for it to go back up. Or it could just run, but it is a retest gap, right? So you have a bullish candle gapping up. So expect some type of a retest initially. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody out there in YouTube land. Thank you for joining us this morning. If you want to join an amazing trading community, just go to reallifetrading.com. Join us, come and come trade with us every single day. So we have a great community and we're all there to